When we are talking about spiritualism, we people often think about religion, but this time I wanna go a little further from religion. As I mentioned in an earlier video, religion tends to separate us, and spirituality would be the opposite, because it would happen at a higher level of understanding, a level where the density would be lower. It would be the subtle perception of reality. It is interesting because spirituality would be this connection that goes beyond matter, that goes beyond normal awareness, earthly awareness. We have all these points of view about spirituality, but what really gets me is that one can only reach true spirituality within oneself. That is, we have many ways to reach certain knowledges, but in the end the individual must find in himself this transcendent level. It is interesting because to reach such states, one must go beyond the normal, the regular understanding. That's why I'm putting religion aside, because in my experience, for example, I walked the path of religion, but then I realized that to reach further I would need to let go of some identifications, some beliefs, to reach certain states. I'm not saying that no one can understand spirituality through religion. I'm saying that at some point the individual must look within, and we have the proof of that in many cultures. For example, in Hinduism we have these great words known as the Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna, the supreme personality of God, and Arjuna, the yogi, were talking about existence before they went to war. And at some point Arjuna does not want to fight because he thinks that it's not right for him to kill his relatives in the battleground. But Krishna is showing to him that everything that happened before and all the cosmos drove them to that point, and that Arjuna should perform his task. For example, Krishna explains to Arjuna that he cannot kill what can't be killed. That is, he thinks that he's going to kill someone in the battleground that he does not want to kill. But this very action of killing someone holds in itself the idea that there is a self, that there is someone that performs the action, the ego, the understanding of a personality in such a deep state that would be something, how can I say that, something real, when in fact there is not. In that aspect, that which cannot be killed would be the Atma, would be the spiritual level, would be the spiritual expression of the individual. And that is something to think about, my friends, because whether we want it or not, the spiritual level goes beyond our ignorant understanding. And to reach such a state, we must let go. For example, I've talked before about the hunter-gatherers and how what we think they used to do would be called animism. That would be everything is sacred, everything is consciousness. So now we are far from that. We believe in temples. We believe in specific rituals. We believe in this mythology, in that mythology, and so on. But all of this are just imagined concepts, are just abstractions, are just identifications. I just think that we imagine it throughout history. And my friends, we can't escape that. Spirituality goes beyond all that. And to reach such a spiritual level, we must let go and understand that everything is spirituality. Everything is spiritual. But we need to look deeper. And that in that case should happen within oneself, not in the external world. The great prophet said that, and I bring this message today. What is the spiritual level? The spiritual level is now and is going to be regardless of our understanding of it. But to reach such a state, we must look within. That's something to think about, my friends. Because if there is this spiritual level, each and every one of us can reach such states. After all, everything is mandala.